Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me, and Oliver. It's a pleasure to have this conversation about ways to accelerate the interoperability ecosystem to unlock digital success in Brazil. I am Ilson, Bressan. Thanks, Oliver, for staying available to discuss with us how we can accelerate this process. The star of the stage is Oliver. This is more than a conversation, more of a conversation than an explanation about our challenge or our opportunities, but it's very good to stay with you, including to celebrate our partnership, starting the implementation in Ceará, our partnership in Brazil with interoperability ecosystem. I believe that we have a real opportunity to make a difference in Brazil, to make a difference to the digital society, building in a right way the fundamentals of our vision and how we can do better and faster in a great way, collaborate with companies, collaborate with public and private sector. Let's start. Let's talk a little bit about it, but I would like to start with the context of Brazilian reality. We are a huge country, 210 million people, around 250 million smartphones, more than one per person. It's a huge number. But we have only $9,000 per year GPD per capita, so we can increase a lot this reality. We are the second country in the screen time ranking, especially because our private sector is extremely digitalized. Banking apps, payments apps, food delivery apps, mobility, and etc. But in the other hand, despite a really good initiatives, especially by some states, nowadays we have a really poor digital services provided by the public sector. And this is the reality that we can change. Especially because we have three levels and three different interests and three different realities. The federal level, 27 states, 5,500 municipalities, and the combination of these three levels put us in a full reality. We have more than or almost 100 locations to provide digital services in general to our cities in Brazil. So a big challenge, a big country, a big challenge, sometimes a big mess. In your experience, Oliver, and Cybernetica experience around the world, is any challenge comparable to Brazil with this situation? What you can talk about it with us?
Thank you, Ilson, and thank you, everybody. Really happy to be here on the stage to discuss. Yeah, Cybernetica has been in the interoperability business for more than 20 years. So we were the founders of the X-Road here in Estonia in the early 2000s. And for the last 2 decades, we've been developing interoperability platforms and deploying interoperability platforms around the globe. So if you look at the references that Cybernetica have, it's from Japan to Benin, from Benin to Ukraine, from Ukraine to Malaysia. We even worked at one point in time in the United States. And we really have an understanding what interoperability means. But you're right, Brazil is a huge challenge. And like you mentioned, there are 210 million citizens in Brazil. It doesn't compare to anything what we have done before. I mean, our biggest reference, which we are very proud of, is Ukraine, that we have been working with since, I think, 2017, and that kind of surpasses the scale of Estonia and any other country. But yeah, definitely, Brazil is a huge, huge opportunity for us, for the both of us, and we have to kind of exceed what we have done anywhere else on the globe. I'm sure we can actually pull this off with Valid. You have, wherever Cybernetica works around the globe, we have partners to work with. And we choose our partners very, very carefully so that they have the capability, the understanding of the local ecosystems in order to deliver, in order to change the local processes, the local mindset for the country to be ready for interoperability. I think you have that. And I was also very, very positively surprised when we started to have our engagements in between our companies and in regards to Brazil, how much homework you had done in regards to what are the interoperability platforms around the globe, where are the success stories, which work and which not. So for us, actually, you know, it was really easy to communicate with you because you had really worked on that topic. So I think Brazil is a huge challenge. We bring from our side everything to the table, but at the same time, it's significantly larger than anything else, and I believe that we will deliver.
Yeah, I'm sure that we can do that together. Not only Valid and Cybernetica, but with each state starting considering our current reality, but we can, in fact, do the difference to creating a better Brazil for all of us. And we are really proud about the way that our teams in Cybernetica and Valid are working now to implement the first one, interoperability platform with the ETICE in Ceará. And I am absolutely convinced that we can do in a great way this first one in Brazil to connect after each state in a great platform connecting all the states in Brazil. In Valid, we have a vision about how we can do this process in the right way. So we are considering, first of all, the possibility to, through our recent law, creating a national ID called CIN, we can consider, first of all, the people. After this, the people that journalists need to do. And after that, the transactions that people is able to do through our platforms. But we have to pay attention in the way that we can implement, and we think that the path is the follow. We need to create, based on the new national ID, we need to create a national data infrastructure, but with a layer of consent management and consumption data. We don't have now this in Brazil, and this is a big mess because we don't know where, why, and how our data is used in the digital environments. But especially after that, we need to create a layer connecting private sector and public sector. But to achieve this, it's mandatory to have a robust and a scalable interoperability platform. That is your expertise. What do you think about it? What do you believe about our chances to help Brazil move forward in this direction?
I believe very strongly the approach that we have taken, which in my mind I call the salami tactics. We don't conquer the whole of Brazil at once, but we are tackling Brazil state by state. Brazil has 27 states, which are quite different, but at the same time need to provide the services. And we have tackled, or we have decided to tackle Brazil state by state. So we are engaging firstly with Ceará, helping them to digitalize, then moving to the next states, and then gradually connecting these states together. Mostly where Cybernetica has worked, we have worked with central governments, where the push has been put, or where the push has come from from the central government, from the Prime Minister's office, from the President's office, but we believe that this approach is more successful. And also, I mean, if you look at Brazil, how it's set up, then the services to the individuals are provided on the state level or even on the community level. So I think that this is the best way to tackle the situation. And of course, like I already mentioned in my first intervention, we are bringing these state-of-the-art tools that we have developed in Cybernetica, the interoperability platform, the different tools for connecting to different registries, but also we're talking about consent management and developing the portals for the citizens to have the journeys. So I think when we pull this off, when Brazil pulls this off, this is definitely going to be a kind of a landmark in the digital space. I don't think that this kind of an interoperability platform exists in countries larger than, larger than 40 million people.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. One thing that approximates us and defines what we make business is the way that we understand that we cannot do a big challenge alone. This is a journey of us before a journey of me or my company or my sector or my state. So we put in place, we put in march a lot of effort in Ceará. What do you think that we are doing together in a good way in Ceará now?
So first of all, what we have proposed to Ceará is really, the proper way or the right way of doing interoperability. We have gathered best practices from all our references around the globe and really packaged them in a way that we can deliver a state-of-the-art interoperability solution to Ceará. And it only doesn't focus on technology, but it's the whole kind of shebang. So we are talking about legal analysis, looking at the citizen journeys, what are the main challenges that the citizen faces, et cetera, et cetera. So I think we have tackled this in the right way, so to say. Of course, I'm absolutely sure that we will learn a lot during the process, and that the next state that we will tackle will kind of be a little different. What we have done, what we are doing in Ceará, that we can learn a lot from there. When I was in Ceará or Fortaleza, I was very positively surprised about the discussions that we had with the Valley team and with our team and with the IT management, top management from Ceará. They, through let's say a couple of very extensive workshops, they really, figured out what is the biggest benefit of interoperability, and how it should deploy, but most of all, why it should deploy and what it brings to their state. And I think that they also have a bigger vision to be kind of a role model for Brazil, for the other states, and maybe also, can become a key player somewhere in the interoperability ecosystem. We are in the early stages of the project right now, but our team is definitely, looking very much forward to the results, so that maybe next year we can talk about them here at the conference with really practical examples of what we have done there.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. We really believe that in a few years we have in hands maybe the best example for how we can accelerate and do in the right way, in the greater way. And we will have a public and private integrated services platform in a whole ecosystem that we can be proud, making Brazil comparable to the best global digital societies. To finish, I would like to say one thing, which we really understand that the state level in Brazil has you need to realize about your leading role in this process. The state can connect with the cities, the state can connect with the federal level. But the life happens in the cities, the life happens in the states, and your leading role in this process is important to take in. So I recommend that each state, each management of the state, put in place this concept, and in this way we can, in fact, really do in the best way to deliver in Brazil the best lives for our citizens. Is that for now? Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, everyone. Safe and happy return to home, and especially to the Brazilian delegation. We have learned a lot with Estonia, with Cybernetica, with all the other experience. So thank you for everyone.